All right, let's jump on into our last deck of the afternoon here. So this was a build around submission for specifically the Grand Plaza, which is a Demacia landmark here that's been seeing a ton of play. So whenever an ally is summoned, give it +1/+1 in Challenger. And someone asked me if I could pair the Grand Plaza with Rekindler here. And this is notably, both of these cards are just individually powerful cards, but Plaza is especially good when you summon two bodies at once because it creates a really big board swing tempo advantage when you do that. So that build around requirement gave me my regions, and then I paired just some other cards here with Plaza that work well with it. So because we were at SI, Undying seems sweet with Plaza, being able to come back again and again and again and attack. I've got Garen is probably one of the best champions in the game with Plaza because his leveled mode lets you rally every turn, which means you're attacking every single turn. We've also got Grizzled Ranger here with Scout, and summoning another unit allows you to get double Plaza activations with it. We've got some Radiant Guardians here, some Successions, which allow us to... This is a card that I've really liked in the Zoe Lux deck with Plaza, where you can, if you're attacking on odds, you can play Plaza on 3 and then immediately Succession and play into the board, which is great. This feels like it mitigates some of the downside of Plaza, which you have to take an early turn off to get it into play. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it goes. one of those onion sites that writes gaming satire posted a thing. Cyberpunk 2077 QA team horrified to learn game has already been released. It's funny because it's sad. Shyvana, Orient Sol. I might full mulligan here, honestly, just looking for the Plaza. Card seems real important in these mid-rangey matches.
The egg. Did it move? I must get out of here.
I must get out of here. Rekindler is one that slipped my mind, if I'm being honest. See, chat, this is why I brought my backup Plaza. So, a lot of the hate around Cyberpunk Force-Smith is because the pleasant experience that your wife is having with Cyberpunk is not the norm. Yeah, Chronicler. Chronicler is one that slipped my mind. So, like, the console release of Cyberpunk, for example, looks like a beta piece of software that shouldn't have been released. It's really bad.
Lilies? Where are you?
Dragons, such fascinating creatures.
I am planning to eventually play Cyberpunk almost assuredly on stream once they release the PlayStation 5 specific version, as opposed to just saying, hey, play the broken PS4 one. I imagine it's going to be a little bit before they get to that point.
We fight for those who cannot.
I'm really enjoying Witcher 3 right now. I'm about 30 hours into that, so I've probably got another 20 to 30 hours on that one.
cannot stall judgment.
Yeah, I'm planning to play through the DLC as well for Witcher. I'm about someone said last night in chat that I'm about 75% of the way through the main story. I just got to the part where we're collecting allies for Kay Morhen for the Wild Hunt to come in and fight us to get Ciri off the Isle. I don't spend a ton of time dicking around with side quests when I do playthroughs, especially on super long games. I am enjoying Final Fantasy VII. That one's been really good. That game is gorgeous too. I was not expecting it to look as good as it does. It definitely is a very, very pretty game. I'm pretty okay with Garen dying here with double Rekindler in hand, so if they want to like block a combat trick, that's great for us. I would love to burn your mana. Thank you for asking. I got through 10 great hours of Witcher 3, realized I hadn't done a single quest, and was never going to finish the game, so I stopped playing. Yeah, part of that is why I mostly try and focus. My rule for the Witcher playthrough I've been doing is that I only side quest if I'm not at the recommended level for the current main quest. It helps me stay on track, but also do a little bit of side stuff. The back and forth posturing with the Plazas here it's been something. Yep, that's an Aurelian Soul. Unfortunately, I think their deck goes over the top of ours, huh?
He's magnificent. For the fallen!
No.
I guys want to clear out some bench space here.
You must be very important. Not the egg.
Yeah, I'm gonna judgment to level Garen here. Which I guess means I don't really clear bench space, but that's what it is. It also stops their Asol from leveling, which is ideal. Oh, he's not leveling anyway, but that's fine. Yeah, I think I want to. This will level my Garen, and I have another Garen here plus these. We could get single combated here, but I think this is like my out to win.
This will be entertaining.
There's a chance that what this deck is doing is just a worse version of like what that style of deck is doing that we just played against. We need to see it obviously in the not mirror matches. In these mid-range games, being bigger tends to be in your favor. So interested to see how we line up against the aggro decks in the format. I think I'm full mulliganing here, looking for the bottom end of my curve. This is likely a burn deck. Ooh. Single plus Radiant is really good down the line. The question is, can we stabilize to get there? Our opener is really not good here in terms of stabilizing. Vok Tang, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. This is a fantastic draw. Something cheap to play the board.
First
Yeah, the opponent's archetype is one of the burn decks in the format. The opponent's deck is a little bit less established compared to some of the others. There's a pirate aggro, which is basically a burn deck, as well as what's the other one? It's not pirate aggro. It's the Elise spider burn is another one.
Never know what hit him.
Come back later.
This is a deck one of the streamers, Swim, has been working on, but it's definitely not quite an established archetype in the format.
Damn it.
I'm up.
If they don't break, they'll burn.
They'll burn.
Time to get rowdy. Flesh was weak, but look at me now.
Look at me now.
Safety, disengage.
All right, if they don't open on attacks here, we have a shot.
Swiftly.
Pro tip, chat: open on attacks more often.
Not the egg. Ah, shut up.
Going to 5 here, going to 4, could be
Time
dead.
to go.
Vandal Scout never.
Backfired.
I fight for the fallen.
Getting to save the single combat for post Radiance Dice so we can gain 4 with that at quick speed. So if we don't die right now, we have a shot. Okay, we got a shot. We have open attacks next turn, and if they try and kill us in response, they need two quick speed ways to burn us out here.
You will be scoured from this land.
Yep.
First one's free.
We have a game here. Like, this is 1 and this is 2. Ballistic Bot is very, very good in their deck. Big agree.
War Mesa, reporting for duty.
Yeah, and like, okay, so like this is 2, 4, 5, 6. So we're taking 4 more here, guaranteed. So they just need to deal 3 to kill us. Single combat is the single best draw on our deck next turn.
This dragon is positively otherworldly. Prime and ready.
Take 1 from this, take 2 here. Another one of those razor thin games.
Safety, disengage.
I have my orders.
So I think it is correct to crumble this to preserve as much life as possible here.
My nose. System upgrade. Taking it to the gun show. Prime and ready.
So am I supposed to play around Decimate and Mystic Shot by opening attacks, or am I supposed to drop a scout unit to try and kill them? I think we're supposed to drop... People complain about Burn because they build and play bad decks. I mean, does opening even really play around Decimate? They get to do 2, I guess it does. If I play the Scout Dragon, they have to chump it twice, and then they go block, and they're still not dead. Okay, they're not dead even if I play the Scout Dragon, so there's no reason not to attack.
Routes closed. Your path ends here. Routes closed.
All right, we played around Mystic Shot. We would have died. would have died.
Safety disengaged. Rise, metal brethren. Humanity is obsolete.
Alright, single combat's a live draw.
System upgrade.
Single combat would have beat the Scorched Earth there, right? We would have gone to 6. I have 3 single combats in here, right? Yeah. Very close game. Radiant Guardian sounds great here. I think I want to mulligan things that Fiora can eat for free. I get to make a 3/3 on turn 2, which is nice.
I am one with the land. Vine and wisp. Steady my hand. I've got your back. Nature blesses her followers.
Does she bless her followers?
Who would trespass here?
Face me.
My crow.
They are also playing Plaza. Okay.
Two worlds, one path.
You don't like the premium borders, good thing you don't have to play with them.
They would fall by my blade.
Alright, let's mess some folks up.
I find them unworthy.
On guard.
I guess this gives her a free eats. Yeah, that was loose. There's some reason to play that out before they attacked.
My heart and soul for the Mafia. The wicked must fall.
Counter and strike.
It has regeneration, so seems worth saving here. Lets him get a strike towards leveling up as well. See if they have a sharp sight of their own to pull out of their hand. Yeah, it seems fine. This is why we hooked Shen and not Fiora, because we didn't want Fiora to get another eats there.
It must be done.
Try me.
The more we learn, the less we fear.
Save your worlds. We speak with blades.
We speak with blades.
On guard.
Your move.
The balance has been maintained.
I mean, it definitely seems like most Demacia decks have lost
I have
decks.
no equals.
We have Radiant Guardian, but probably getting Alt Wind Con, so I'm not sure that she matters. The turn I played the Scout and gave Fiora that to eat instead of my Undying was a pretty big mistake.
It must be done.
On guard.
They can win at will with a single combat at this point.
Oh dear.
This will be quick.
Yeah, Scouts got rebuilt basically with the addition of Plaza to it. I think Biorishen is easily the most frustrating popular deck to play against. Has a whole bunch of counter spells and a whole bunch of ways to negate your tricks. It is towards the top of the list of things that I ban and pick ban usually. Again, I would envision that this matchup is bad for us. No, this will be the last deck that we're playing today, Uber. If there's more decks to be played, they'll be listed in the stream title.
Strength in grace, beauty in the blade.
You know, maybe I'm supposed to play... Yeah, I think I'm supposed to play Undying here, actually. So I can Undying into Crumble on here. Yeah, if you're new to the channel, we stay pretty organized around here. Do my best to people have the information that they want to see. That's fine, right? Hoping to dodge Pale Cascade here. I guess even if they Pale Cascade, I just single combat here. Sweet. Well, welcome to Hoagland, Yabber. Yeah, you can always know what to expect. Usually when you see my schedule, I do about one deck per hour to hour and a half. So most mornings I do 3. I tried an all-in support deck, not in a little bit. Usually the problem with all-in support decks is the fact that the support mechanic only works when you're attacking means that your decks tend to be kind of linear and not able to adjust when you need to play defensively. Hey, Remnant, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Thanks, Upper, I appreciate that. Yeah, I try and do my best to talk about why we're doing what we're doing. I'm gonna try and find a non-Blossom here. This deck, I think I'm confident to say that this deck seems awful in the Blossom. Let's try and the burn matchup with it. Let's try and find some other aggro decks to play against. Sure, mid-range or control. Perfect. Our opponent would like you to eat at Joe's 145, chat. In case you're wondering. It actually seems great. I'm gonna keep all these. Well, Plaza on their 3, Undying on our 4. For people that are new to the channel, by the way, a lot of what we play here, because I'm playing viewer submissions, I'm trying to play enough games to get a feel and give feedback on the decks that I've been given. So that last game, for example, where I conceded, my decks were not 0% to win that game at that point, but I don't feel like I'm going to learn anything new by playing that matchup more at this point. So in terms of giving value to the person that submitted this deck, this archetype to get feedback on, I'd rather try and find some other matches that I can learn something in. I don't really care about my rank here. We usually hit Diamond, sometimes Masters on stream just playing, but This isn't a try-hard stream grinding for first place on the ladder. My goal is to play lots of different decks to be able to get a feel and talk about what might be good, bad, or otherwise in them. Which is a little bit different than what a lot of streams do. I don't understand how people can have these tier 1 decks fully crafted and get matched against Iron and Bronze players. Well, a lot of them are just new people coming into Runeterra for the first time, Umber. You have to remember, especially coming from other games, it's very easy to construct a new tier 1 deck in Runeterra. Decks are very cheap, you know? Compared to like Hearthstone or Magic, where you need to put in like $100 to start, like throwing 20, 25 bucks at a game to get started isn't a big deal for a lot of people. It's like, you know, it's like half the price of a AAA game, right? And if you're gonna spend that amount of time on it, spending a little bit of money is not a big deal. And like I know some people really enjoy the free-to-play grind, so like if you enjoy free-to-play, like more power to you, but I know there's also a lot of people that like, that's not their focus. They prefer to just jump in and play games right away. Killing the Undying on their turn is sweet here as well, because it means it's going to come back on our turn with Challenger, which is great.
Watch and learn.
Yeah, that's true too. The ladder reset just happened as well, so people who have experience and have played but like only got to like gold or platinum, you drop down 2 ranks.
Time for the moneymakers.
So people who got to gold will go back to iron. They're just banking spell mana here. Yeah, Runeterra is different than a lot of other games that I played in the past too, in that, like, it's not as uncommon to see good decks everywhere because the economy is so accessible. Me not playing Magic is actually the opposite of a sellout. The sellouts are all of the people that continue to play Magic in spite of their endless bitching about the card game. In fact, not playing Magic the Gathering makes me much happier, but it makes me way less money. But I'm sure you don't actually care about the details, you just want to be some ignorant twat on the internet that comes into someone else's space and posts nonsense, so fuck off. Their last message was in 2018. Yeah, coach, they were never subbed to the channel, so like we went into sub-only mode for a while in Magic after that. Huh. What if we glimpse into Radiant Guardian here? That seems pretty good. And then Radiant here means they can't attack. Nice one, 3. Praise be to our Jesus, chat. For folks that are new to the channel, I do not subscribe to the theory that as a creator or personality on the internet, I'm supposed to lay down and take crap from random mouth breathers hiding behind screen names on their computers. So when people come into my chat and post crap like that, I call them out on it.
We burn, then kindle anew.
Give them a healthy dose of reality. We're not even scared of Captain Farron here, which is sick. Yeah, I'm like, this is what I said earlier, right? Like, it's so easy to focus on the games that feel bad. Like, we're having a hard time against other Plaza decks with this deck, but like, look at how this game's playing out, right? Like, we're solidly in control of this game. I mean, being in bronze and LOR is just a virtue of how much you've played mostly, right, Fox? Because I think it definitely bronze. I think also in silver, you don't lose LP when you lose games. Does anybody know when that starts? When do you start losing LP for losing games? Is it silver or gold? It's been a while. I think is it? You lose half of what you would in bronze. Oh, you do. So you do lose some. Okay, that's it. So you don't lose as much as when you're winning. Got it. That makes sense. Iron. Okay, it's been a while. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember what all the different factions or colors or whatever we want to call them that are on there. I want a mulligan for Plaza. Honestly, it might be right. Yeah, I think I'm actually supposed to play Succession here. Attack. I'd also like to think, just thinking on amusing thoughts, that person we just banned again, keeping up with the tradition that since we started playing Runeterra, 95% of the people that I ban on my Twitch channel are idiots that come in from when we used to play Magic and want to harass me. What a wonderful community that community is. Thanks. Shout out to the Runeterra community, by the way. Y'all have been great. I understand you're upset about losing in your card game, but let's not like make jokes about suicide or compare suicide to card games on my channel. Please and thank you. Nah, I think saving my single combats for their more premium threats like Zoe and Lee Sin is better. Oh, we're playing against Lee Sin Zoe. I suppose I have Crumble here still, too. I think we're just doing this for the sake of resource efficiency. They care what game I stream for the same reason people get upset when I block them on Twitter, Preywaits. People think they are entitled to my time. They think that if they feel like I should be seeing the things they write, then I should see them.
Captain Cromgar, call me Garen.
Playing the Garen here means I'm giving them a window to drop Lee Sin, which they don't have, so that's incredible for us. We definitely just open on attacks here. Personally, I only watch Twitch by entering random things into the URL until one of them is a real channel and then demanding they play the game that I want. Man. Do I ever play Expeditions? I play Expeditions off stream when I am looking to play, because I'm a degenerate and I play Runeterra off stream on occasion.
Breathe in, breathe
But most of what I play on stream is viewer submissions, and people generally only submit constructed decks. If you check, people are welcome to add an expedition run to the queue, just like any of the other things that I do. But in general, that's not usually something people send in. I think we just do this, hoping they don't have double burst speed spell in response. If they have Pale Cascade, I have Sharp Sight. Man. Alright, I think we are digging for another crumble at this point. Hey, Remnant, welcome back to Oaklandia. Yeah, Runeterra is great. Really enjoyed this game.
Strike firm. Center your spirit. Prepare yourself.
So, one of the things that Riot does really well is they don't really force you to play game modes that you don't want. So, like, if you're enjoying expeditions, that's one of the 100 different ways that's, like, good to build your collection. But, like, it's not giving you a bunch of extra rewards that you wouldn't otherwise be getting. So there's most of the game modes in Runeterra are pretty well spread in terms of what they give you in terms of rewards. Fiora Judgment could definitely punk our opponent out, potentially.
How do you wield such a clumsy weapon?
With justice and honor.
Huh? Yeah, playing, and one of the things that's great about, one of the reasons why I like expeditions in this game is the power level of what you get to experience in expedition is very close to the constructed power level. All of our plays kind of feel bad here. I think we're just gonna get combo killed by Lee Sin. Our deck doesn't really have enough quality interaction to punch through him, I don't think. Better to give him Overwhelm and then punch us for a bunch.
Justice will be served!
Well, judgment always happens before normal combat. There's a Lee Sin level. Now, I am at a nice healthy Nexus total here. So, like, my opponent does need to stack 5 more attack on this next turn in order to kill me with it, so there's a chance that they can't do that. So we might not be dead next turn necessarily.
What is gained when you return malevolence?
A flurry of Pale Cascades could change that, though. This is also, all of our removal being combat-based means the barrier is very good. It also means, like, the stat line increase on here is very powerful. So the problem with like, making Lee Sin cost more spells to level, I feel like it just doesn't really solve any of the problems he has. Which is, like, a lot of the issues with Lee Sin is that he's just difficult to impossible to interact with. And it just feels really bad as a player that, like, I have all these cards and just, like, I have interaction, but, like, none of my interaction is meaningful here in this position. I'm gonna go ahead and single combat here to pop their spell shield. Yeah, part of it is the denials, but also a big part of it is the most interactive part of Runeterra tends to be the combat system, and because Lee Sin barriers himself as part of his ability, you basically can't interact with Lee Sin out in combat, which means the easiest avenue of interaction that you should have for cards in Runeterra is just completely cut off in Lee Sin's case.
Return to us.
Yeah, they could turn his barrier to tough. They could turn his barrier to quick attack. There's a lot of ways they could fix it. They not even fix it. It's not necessarily broken. To make it more interactive, saying fix it implies that it's broken, but it's just not interactive is its issue. What if I attack with everything and they block with a bunch of stuff and we cheese them with Fiora's Judgment? What if that happened?
Strike quickly, strike deftly.
Yeah, they could change how Dragon's Rage interacts with Overwhelm as well. They could say Dragon's Rage removes the thing using Dragon's Rage from combat, so it's just not a combo kill. But I think it should either not be a combo kill or it should be more interactive. One of those two things should happen. Oh, I didn't need to do that there, right? It probably doesn't matter. I'm probably gonna get denied. Yeah, I think that's the line. It's like Judgment, hope to top deck single combat. This is the play to win line here. So this'll put her to 3 kills. She needs 4 to alt win the game. So she still gets to Judgment here, but she doesn't level up anymore because she's lost that text. So she kills these things, but she's been told to be quiet, so she no longer cares about having to kill these things. I guess there's an off chance they don't have 2 spells, right? And they can't give this oh, this only needs 1 to have Challenger, right? I think Plaza's too slow here, and I need to look for Radiant Guardian single combats and cheaper units. Well, I found one of the things I was asking for.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
Well, shit.
Flesh was weak, but look at me now.
Armed and ready. Don't everything.
System upgrade.
Wow, Puff Cap right on top. This is a great draw.
My blade.
Could arguably one of be the best draw in our deck.
For the honor of God.
I'm gonna try and kill Teemo, because I can still kill Teemo next turn, and then Fiora will get to level instead of dying.
Swiftly.
They could have it. This does give them a chance to have another Mystic Shot. So basically, I'm trying to get the upside of keeping my Fiora, but taking the possible downside of giving them a chance to have another burn spell here to stop me from killing Teemo altogether. An opponent correctly identifying that their deck is about doming me and choosing to hit my face there rather than kill my Fiora. Basically, every time their deck elects to point something at one of my units instead of my face, that's a win for me. This is actually an okay draw, because it means I can kill this. Although, you know, I kind of want to do this so I can play Rekindler, I guess. Like, I want to play Rekindler next turn, right? Like, I've got so many Rekindlers, chat.
War Mason, reporting for duty.
This will be quick.
I think everything worked out better than expected, chat.
Reporting in.
Read.
Armed and ready. More mushrooms.
We burn, then kindle anew.
Rekindle anew.
Try me. No, no, mushrooms.
I don't think I've heard that voice line before.
Time for the main event.
Okay, Draven is a great one to see here. Everything they play that plays to the board instead of burning my face is good for us. Yikes, that does both.
No one's the wiser.
Every point of damage counts, chat. Every point of damage counts.
Let's do this.
Come from the dark.
Are they playing Rummage? Oh, they just must not want to discard this, huh?
Alright, let's mess some folks up.
Let's mess some folks up. No, I wanted them to use the spinning axe. 7 and 7 is lethal, right? Would I rather play these two? 9, 12. I think I'd rather just Rekindler.
Return to us.
Oh, I should have opened on my scout attack. Should have opened on the scout attack. I can still do that, but I should have done that to start.
I suppose.
If they don't break, they'll burn.
Oh God!
This is a Mystic shot that's got to get pointed at my Dorko now. Yep. Okay. Okay. And again, just like, I think, like, a lot of people complain about burn decks. Like, I think the burn decks generate a lot of, like, really close, interesting games like this. Like, yeah, like, this has been, like, a genuinely good game of Runeterra. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Missed it by this much. I think it's because they don't bring lifesteal. No, I mean, I even think that game's a good example of ways you die to burn. So, like, if you go back and re-watch that game, I want you to think about something for a minute. Look at the curve of my deck. What I mean by people that play bad decks. This deck isn't good. Let's talk about why this deck isn't good. So first, this deck gets hammered on the top end because Rekindler just isn't going big enough to keep up with things like Ori and Sol and what some of the other control decks in the format are doing. And then on the bottom end of the curve, I just don't have enough meaningful, cheap things that play to the board, right? And it's not even just as simple as looking at the curve, right? Because, like, there's 11 2-drops here, right? Like, 11 2-drops sounds good. But then you look at my deck and you go, well, Jeff, 6 of your 2-drops, 8 of your 2-drops don't actually play to the board on turn 2, right? So, like, we've only got 6 cards in my entire deck that play to the board before turn 3. And then we go up to turn, I guess Succession is like asterisk. I guess this is kind of 9, which is really not a lot. Like, having this much expensive stuff means that the aggro decks are going to be able to kill you because my deck is clunky. And yeah, I feel like I kind of failed in this build around submission. I also don't know that you could necessarily do better with this restriction. Like, Rekindler plus Plaza kind of dictates that your deck go in a certain direction. And I don't know that I can necessarily put more top end in these regions. Like, maybe I'm supposed to be like a Ruination deck to keep up with some of the other bigger decks in the game. But even that's like an answer. It's not an actual piece of top end that like wins the game. Mobalytics would be my recommended for deck editing. You can even link your Riot account there, and with one button push, link it or push it to your Runeterra client. At any rate, that's going to be it for me for this afternoon. I really appreciate everybody that hung out through the end. We had a bunch of new followers. Welcome to the channel, y'all. If you haven't done so already, please check out my YouTube channels as well. I have 2 channels, one that posts a daily deck highlight video with some of the sweetest decks that I've played. I play a ton of different decks here on stream, usually 3 to 4 every single day, so I grab the best one every day and post a short deck tech as well as showcasing some of the best games that it has up there. And then I have a second YouTube channel that posts absolutely everything that I stream. So that one gets like 5 or 6 videos per day sometimes because all my Runeterra stuff goes up there. And I also post some of my variety stuff. Speaking of, I do a lot of single-player story-driven variety stuff as well. So if you're into games like we're currently playing through Witcher 3 and the Final Fantasy VII remake on the PlayStation, I'll be back about 4 hours from now this evening after I get some food and hang out with the kids for a bit, playing some more Witcher 3 tonight. If you're just here for Runeterra stuff, I'll be back tomorrow morning with 3 more Runeterra decks. Thanks everybody for dropping in. Stay safe out there, and have a good day.